Hello everybody, welcome to Pokemon Radical Red Randomizer. So, this game, one I'm addicted, all I've been wanting to do since I've done this run is play more Radical Red, but I need to get this video done, so I need to need to do that before we can play more Radical Red. So if you guys have any more run ideas, let me know in the comments below, because I'd love to play more of this game. But anyway, this is Pokemon Radical Red Randomizer. We're doing soft lock rules, so basically a Nuzlocke, other than the death part, it's just the first encounter on every route to make it a bit more challenging, so we have less options for team building. So here I, put on my hard. Don't put on hard mode though, because my god, do we struggle already without hard mode? But yeah, this game's super fun. It's just a hard version of Pokemon Fire Red. Has every Pokemon up to Gen 8 and all the Gen 8 mechanics. It gives you a lot of things like lets you EV train easier, lets you change IVs and all that jazz. This was my first playthrough, so I do miss a few important things. But yeah, other than that, I hope you guys do enjoy this video, and let's get straight into the starters. So we have the choice between Gabite, which is a pretty cool Pokemon. I was thinking like, yeah, you can't really top that. Then we get Shaman, bro. I love Shaman. Shaman's really, really cool. It's a mythical Pokemon, so all its stats are 100. And then we have the kind of bad egg of the bunch, Morlul. I do end up picking Shaman, which actually makes our early game kind of hard, but like it doesn't really matter because we're going to be getting more encounters later. But we do name Shaman Pazu after one of my Discord members. So if you guys would also like to be nicknamed after any Pokemon in the runs, leave a comment down below of any nicknames as well, and I'll make sure to name you. I kind of ran out of names after halfway through this run. So our rival picks up Gabite. We quickly check here the stats on Shaman, because this game gives you IVs and all that jazz. So I have a quick look. We're S on HP, attack, and special attack, so I'm feeling pretty good about that. I'm like, hell yeah, that's cool. And then, yeah, it only knows growth. So that is very, very sad. I was like, really? What? Come on. I was very upset. And we come into this first battle, and we basically can't live like any battle at all at the moment. And he has Gabite, which I'm pretty sure has Dragon Rage at this level too. So he does just dual chop me to death here, and then Dragon Rage. And yeah, that's our first battle loss. It's real upsetting, but yeah. Now we have to go catch a new Pokemon. So our first Pokemon is Mr. Rhyme. And we, catch it pretty easy actually. So that's very good. Just a few Pokeballs, and we've got Mr. Rhyme. I name it after Nerf, another Discord member. And yeah, so Mr. Rhyme here is actually ends up being a super good member of the team. And I was too excited at the start of the game, but now I'm like, now looking back at it, I'm like, that's a very good capture. So we have Nerf. I'm double checking to make sure it actually has moves. It only has Pound at the moment, but at least we can attack with that. So we can be happy about that one. Then on Route 22, we catch ourselves the Dedenne. Then in Route 2, we catch the Nuzleaf. In Viridian Forest, we catch ourselves Mr. Peanut Butter, the Rockruff. Before we take on Brock, we have to quickly deal with Falconer here, and it's a pretty easy battle. I've trained up to the level cap. I just Thundershock everything to death, and yeah, that was pretty easy with Dedenne, thankfully. Like, that battle can be pretty hard in normal circumstances, but nonetheless, we're off to Brock. And we have a very good team for Brock. We have Shaman, Nuzleaf, and then Rockruff to deal with Vulpix, but his Vulpix does prove to be quite the issue. Thankfully, Geodude and Onix are pretty safe mons to go against. One Magical Leaf here after a growth boost is, yeah, just easily putting it down to sturdy. I almost forget that the gym trainers also can't heal in this game, so I was going to actually try and set up another growth. But there we go, Geodude is taken care of. He switches out to Vulpix. I was thinking about staying in, but it was way too risky, so I ended up switching out to D. D just gets hacks to death, hits herself in confusion, starts getting burnt. Then he switches back out into Onix, and it's time for these Nuz. But unfortunately, these Nuz, it's just so slow after that Rock Tomb. So he does get a bit of damage off. He gets the crit, almost takes us out. Like, poor Nuz, man. He just didn't have his time to shine. We get a nice Razor Leaf off, but it is not enough to take it even to its sturdy. And as he switches back out into Vulpix, and we switch into Shaman because Nuz was about to die. That Magical Leaf also did a bunch of damage, but yeah, as you can see, this is what happens to Rockruff when we tried. We just get confusion and burned. But then Nerf comes out, and Nerf's actually really fast because he's a fully evolved Pokemon. So he outspeeds Vulpix, hits it with the confusion, then outspeeds Onix and hits it with the confusion as well. And since they both don't have Fantastic Special, it is just enough to take them out. So that is the Brock battle done. First try, feels good. Our team was super good. In Mount Moon, we do catch Bolton, who ends up being an integral part of the team. And then we go ahead and come to these guys here. One gives you a TM, and the other one gives you the Macho Brace, which is huge for early EV training. And then we're ready to take on Misty, I reckon. Our team's really good against Misty too. This is our first attempt where Frogadier and Floatzel just kind of sweep us. Floatzel actually has Technician in this game and Flip Turn, so it activates the Technician. It's very, very strong and very, very fast. And yeah, so we lose this first attempt, but I'm kind of thinking to myself, if we plan this better, we can definitely win. So here's the real attempt, only our second attempt on this fight, and Bolton ends up being huge. We start off with these Nuzz, so he turns himself into an Ice type. I was hoping we would live, but we didn't quite. That's fine. We now can Mach Punch this Frogadier, and it'll be super effective. And thankfully for us, he stays as an Ice type. She brings in Floatzel, Flip Turns kills Bolton, but Shaman just magical leaves the other two away, and that is Misty done and taken care of. So again, another pretty easy gym battle, but it does get harder from here. Then we got the Rival 2 fight where Nerf and Bolton just kind of go through it, man. Like that was another easy fight, and this is all looking real good. We catch Alolan Persian and Savali, and while EV training, we actually run into something really cool. Well, oh, it's another shiny, and while grinding again, it's very, I've been at it for almost an hour, I guess, just EV trading, and here we go, shiny Joltik. I thought it would happen eventually if I went to EV train. Let's see if we can catch it, and there we go. Got the shiny Joltik. What are we gonna name it this time? I'm just gonna name it Jade, I think. Jade will be the name of this Joltik. Okay, well, back to what I was doing. And after some EV training, we take on Bugsy, who's also super easy just with Mr. Peanut Butter and Bolton sweeping him. Before we take on the Lieutenant Surge, we have to go ahead and defeat Brendan again, and his Lunatone almost sweeps us, but thankfully Shaman and the Para was enough to take it out. We get Boobat the Woobat from O Egg, and we get Toby the Shuppet from the route next to Vermilion. And then we also catch ourselves Pam the Clamper and Digless Cave. So no really good encounters here at the moment, but you know, nonetheless, we go ahead, rub this guy's back, get cut, and with that we can take on Lieutenant Surge. Now this battle I was actually a little bit nervous for. I mean, like, his Vikavolt was the main threat, I reckon, because a lot of our team is grass type, so that's pretty good for us in terms of resistancing. I switched into D after getting the Stealth Rocks off, because he does Volt Switch a lot, so... And I don't know why I switched into D, but it does just forward itself off to the Raichu. I get a nice Icy Wind off, and the terrain runs out, so this Raichu's extra slow. But there's that Volt Switch I was talking about as he brings in Pink Urchin again. We bring in Shaman, set up a Growth, because this can't really do much, but Vikavolt can, so we switch out straight away, and get out the Light Screen with Bolton, just so his Pokemon hit are less hard. Harry takes care of Pinchurchin and does some nice damage to Mega Manectric here, even after the Intimidate, but 2 Volt Switches will be enough to take us out. I decide not to switch here because there's no real point keeping Harry. I think Shaman can live a Fire-type move and then deal with it. So we get a Flame Charge off. He switches into Raichu, but obviously the Stealth Rocks are still up, and with that, Pazu can just come through and go ahead and Magical Leaf it. And bam, that's Lieutenant Surge taken care of. And yeah, that was another first attempt gym. So I'm feeling pretty good about myself, but again, this really is just the calm before the storm. Like, it's about to get real bad. We catch Rob the Magikarp, and then we catch goddamn Hop the Hoppet, because oh my god. We catch Don the Probopass, and with that we can go into Rock Tunnel. And after coming out of Rock Tunnel, we make our way into, God, I forgot the name of this place, Lavender Town. We go and try to take on Morty, but his Mimikyu actually just sweeps us. So I decide, yeah, maybe we don't have to do that right now. We catch Skur the Squirtle on our way to Saffron, and this will be another really good Pokemon for the team later in the game. But yeah, so I was pretty excited about this encounter. We also catch Queen the Serena, which is another cool encounter, but we don't end up using it because we have a lot of other good grass types like Nuzleaf and Shaman, so I didn't really see the point. But yeah, then we find Cinderace in place of the Eevee. We reset for a little bit and then find a good one. Here, that was us dying to Erica straight away. It's just, yeah, it's tragic. But Erica was a really hard battle. I'm not gonna lie. She just sets up sword stance with Rillaboom and then just kind of grassy glides through our whole team. It's really sad. Like this girl, like, oh man, this is the first gym battle that took me a few goes. Not gonna lie, because this is just how it'd go every time. I'd have to reset if Savali got taken out. It was just, yeah, it was a nightmare. So yeah, this is how it'd start every battle. This has to be a clean 2-hit KO. It is a range though. And I think there is a chance that we actually live the Grassy Glide, though it's very slim. So here, he goes for Grassy Glide. Bam. And Savali just barely hangs on. So this is like what we had to reset for. We had to reset for two ranges, basically. Our range on getting it as a clean 2-hit KO, and her range on her not taking us out. But with that, Rillaboom is taken care of, and it's, thank God. I could get past it a few times, but then Meganium would just come out and just, it has triage, which is basically Combby's ability. And yeah, there I kind of just sack Shaman for some reason. Don't even decide to go for Magical Leaf. I switch into Bolt and go for the Fire Punch, but yeah, it's just not doing anything. It is also a Grass Fairy type in this game, which is pretty cool. I go for Pyro Ball. It lives on like 1 HP. We get the Flame Charge, so we're faster. I go for Pyro Ball. She Mega Evolves, so it does have thick bats. This Pyro Ball does significantly less damage. Still a nice half shot. The Sludge Bomb comes out, takes out Cinderace. I switch into Nerf, go for the Freeze Dry, go for another Freeze Dry, and honestly, we were lucky enough that it just didn't hit us with any attacks, and then 2 more Freeze Dries is enough to take out her Superior. So that's Erica taken care of, and now it's time for the first Giovanni boss fight. Now this one was pretty alright. He does have an Expert Belt Nidoking that actually doesn't take out Pazu first turn, which is pretty great. He does take out Mr. Peanut Butter in one shot, which is a bit unfortunate. We switch into Bolton, then I insta-switch into Nerf, because I don't know why I switched into Bolton to begin with. He Mega Evolves his Kangaskhan, goes for the Fake Out, and yeah, it's very sad. We try to get some Mach Punches up, but this thing is just sweeping through us. We get a Flame Charge off, so we are faster than it, but it doesn't really end up doing us any favors at all. And yeah, so I'm like, well, we can't do much, just try and get a Para. Doesn't end up happening. We send out Pazu, who does get a bit of HP back from the Haunch Grow. But yeah, we have to reset that. That was a busted run. But here's run 2, where we actually get some damage on Nidoqueen before sending out Nerf. We get some mad damage on Haunch Crow and a good chip on Kangaskhan, because he just ends up going on a switching spree there. So that was really good for us. We get a Mach Punch off before dying, so this Kangaskhan's a lot less healthy than last time. We get a nice Rock Slide off, and we don't quite kill the Haunch Crow here. We get a Flame Charge, so we're faster than the rest of his team. He brings out Rhyperior, and with that, Giovanni 2 is taken care of. But that's the easy Giovanni fight. Like, it still took us 2 goes, but yeah, that's the not hard Giovanni fight. We get the T, so we can go between Celadon and Saffron. And yeah, all the good stuff. This house right here is super important. With a bottle cap, you can actually change the Pokemon to their hidden ability. So we go ahead and give Cinderace Protein. They also do a bunch of stuff like EV training and all that jazz. But yeah, so we Skur evolves into Blastoise. We catch Gru, and then it's time to take on Giovanni number 2. And yeah, so this is where things get real hard. This rival battle as well, like, as you can see, I'm running away, bro. I touched it. I don't want anything to do with it. But this is a really hard battle. I'm just showing you this right now, but like, oh my god. So he starts off with Staraptor. It just goes for the close combat. And then, yeah, just kills Savali easy. We switch into Bolton, also gets Brave Bird straight away. And like, it's such a hard fight. Like, this took us, I'm going to say probably 7 attempts to get this run right. He goes for Ice Punch with the Zurill. It's real sad, but we are just kind of stalling it out a little bit. Pazu is a bit of a tanky monster, even with its D-stats, but Flare Blitz will be enough to take us out. I switch into Skur for the Darmanitan, go for that nasty Scald. We switch into Cinderace, who can outspeed. We go for the Flame Charge just to make sure we outspeed anything else. He brings out Darmanitan, another Flame Charge. We go for the Pyro Ball. We do get taken out by the Sludge Bomb, but Nerf is the Venusaur killer, and that is the rival fight. So that looked pretty easy, but it was a pretty hard fight. Then we have this double battle, which is super, super annoying. This is like, oh my god. It's not the most annoying of the fight with these two. But my god. I'm sorry for stuttering. I just remembered that like how obnoxious this fight was. The main thing is the reliance on Brendan as our AI partner. And yeah, so they have double megas, which is pretty cool, but still hurts a lot. So yeah, Gardevoir gets taken out, and there's not much to say about this fight other than like just kind of watching it go off. We just kind of just hit things until they die. The one thing about the AI is it will always target what you target, so you can always, at least from what I found, that seems to be the case. So if you need a Pokemon to be taken out, just target it, even in like, especially if they're faster. So I targeted Houndoom there, so Sceptile would kill it, and then our move would be redirected into Incineroar. And same thing there, I knew it was faster, so I directed the Pyro Ball into Incineroar, and that means Sceptile takes it out for us. It just saves you a lot of work for like, you know, it just saves you a lot of work, basically. He brings out Primarina. It's a nice, easy fight there. Just take that thing out. Nice and easily done, and then Brendan's move should just redirect into Aegislash. And with that, we have basically won. But now, this is the part of the game where, like, yeah, things really start to step up, as you can see, as we do transition into the Giovanni fight too. And my god, is this fight obnoxious. This took me so long. You're going to be hearing that a lot, but it took me a very, very, very long time. Probably an hour of grinding. He has a Sand Rush Excadrill who just absolutely sweeps through Pazu. We get half damage off, but then die. And yeah, I was like, oh man, maybe Nerf come in, get a Mach Punch off. Yeah, we're going well. But then he brings out... his Garchomp, which is just a whole other thing. It just kills us. We're just weak to this team in general, other than like Nerf and Blastoise, but they still get just destroyed by Earthquake, so it's, you know, nothing much. And yeah, as you can see, like, our moveset's not very good either at the moment, so after this battle, I'm like, yeah, okay, we need to change some stuff up. So it's time to go into the game quarter. We pick up Ice Beam, we pick up Energy Ball, and we pick up Scald. So these three moves, after that, we have a sound strategy. The strategy is basically one-shot Hippowdon, which is a range, by the way, and then we do one Energy Ball onto Excadrill, and we switch something else out to Sack. In this case, it was Harry, and then we switch back into Bolton and go for Mach Punch, and that's how we get rid of the first two Pokemon, basically. So this was my plan every run, until we got, like, the one that worked. And after that, Bolton's job for this fight is basically done. The only other thing Bolton can really do is just get chip damage onto things like Kangaskhan. So I do switch into Nerf, because Nerf's, like, equally as useless. We do actually live that Earthquake, which is pretty impressive on Nerf's side. We switch back into Shaman, as he does get the Sword Stance off, but we do get an Energy Ball, and Pazu the Beast lives again, and 2 Energy Balls takes out the Garchomp, even with +2. What a monster. He brings out Kangaskhan, and I'm like, yeah, do I keep Shaman? I don't think I do. I think I'm going to go for this Energy Ball now. If he probably just goes for Fake Out here every time, just because he will just insta-kill and it's a free one. But now we can get Bolton in and get in a Mach Punch before it goes down. But any chip damage on Kangaskhan is just huge for us. I bring in Cinderace now, because, yeah, if we can get a speed boost on Cinderace, it's just over. We get the bounce off, he goes for the Power Punch, but now we do outspeed, so all we need is another bounce to hit. And with that, he brings us down to the Poltergeist. But now, I know for a fact that Pyro Ball does one-shot, because I've seen it before. And with that, Giovanni 2 is defeated. Now, that looked pretty solid, right? But no, no. That was all luck-based, basically. A lot of those KOs were all ranges. The Garchomp not killing us was probably a range as well, so it was very not cool. And yeah, here's us getting ready for the Sabrina fight, which is a double battle Trick Room team, actually. So this only took me 2 attempts, believe it or not, and that dig was just to deal with her Marowak later, which I didn't know she had. So yeah, we just go for the trying to make sure Hatterene doesn't get Trick Room up. That's basically all we reset for. So this time I start off with Pazu and Savali. We go for the Iron Head Energy Ball. It doesn't kill, but we do get the flinch, thankfully. And then yeah, she takes out our other 2 mons. So I switch it into Nerf and I think Bolton. Yeah, Nerf and Bolton, but she does bring out the Marowak with the Lightning Rod. I assume I actually didn't fire off an electric type move just in case. So I go for Freeze Dry into Indeedee, and I go set up the light screen for the rest of our team later. Bolton does get taken out, but that's fine. I bring out Skur. Nerf takes out Conkeldurr with a Psychic easily, and then 2 Scolds is enough to take out the Marowak. With our new protein ability, we can easily take out Gardevoir with a Stab Iron Head, and Marowak is slow now since we stopped the Trick Room from going off. And then in comes Porygon 2, who can't do too much without Trick Room either. So we go for Pyro Ball, and then yeah, we just smack it a bit, and eventually it goes down. Here was a bit scary, but thanks to the Light Screen, we don't take too much damage from the Thunderbolt, and that is Sabrina taken care of. A notable encounter, because we haven't had one for a very long time, is Porygon 2 in a Den Raid. It's super, super good. You slap the Eviolite on this thing and it goes off. Porygon 2 is probably the second MVP of this team after Cinderace. It's so good. But now it's time to take on Koga with our new Porygon 2. He starts off with Swellow, who is Choice Scarfed with Boom Burst. And we actually live the Water Shuriken because it doesn't go for 3. We get the freeze, but unfortunately he thaws out straight away. But that's fine because we can just take it out with Energy Ball. He brings out a Selgor, which is super scary, but we do take it out with a Flame Charge. And now with that Flame Charge, we outspeed Drapion, who is Choice Scarf. I think maybe Swellow isn't Choice Scarf actually. I think Swellow is something else that's just really fast. But Drapion is Choice Scarf Wicked Blow, and it does just take us out. But we get to take it out with a Revenge Kill with the Bolton. And look how tanky Ducky is. Takes out like a man. Takes a Boom Burst. Gets a nice Shadow Ball off. But probably would have been better to go for Psychic there. I was probably thinking we weren't going to live. But then Nerf comes out. Lives as well. And goes for the Psychic and takes him out. Yeah, that was a huge battle for Nerf and PZ too. So he starts off with Metagross here. I'm like, crap. I know he goes for Explosion. So I'm going to switch into Shaman. Because this wasn't my first attempt. Not at all. This was my, I think, third. So I knew that against certain Pokemon, he either switches out into Crawdon or he explodes with Metagross there. So in comes Medicham. Psychic Cut just takes us out, which is fine. I try the Iron Head here, but 2 takes us out anyway. I switch into Ducky, who is the machine. Take it out with the Tri-Attack. And then I don't know why I'm hovering over Psychic. But 2 Tri-Attacks after the freeze is enough to take out Gardevoir. So we do get pretty lucky on that freeze, but I think we would have been fine nonetheless. I bring out Nerf the machine, who goes for Psychic and takes him out. He brings out Sceptile, who destroys us, and even with that freeze, we lost. So I think that was like my 4th attempt. I was like, God damn it, what do we do now? So I quickly scrolled through and like looking like, what do we do? There's something here, and Focus Sash was the answer all along. We give it to Skirk because Skirk can Ice Beam the Sceptile, and now it's time to retake on Brendan. It's time to rematch Brendan with our new strategy. He starts off with Metagross as I switch into Shaman, knowing that he will go into Crawdon. Energy Ball takes it out easy. And here I'm thinking, yeah, nah, it's fine. We'll just trade Shaman and Metagross. And then I'm thinking, like, who's the most expendable here? I switch into Bolton because I think Bolton is definitely just going to not really do much for us other than get like one maybe Mach Punch off on Sceptile. And yeah, we just go down to a Psycho Cut very quickly. Unfortunately, don't even get any damage off. I'm thinking Ducky, probably the best bet on living a hit. So we'll switch it out, and 2 Tri-Attacks takes out the Medicham. We live on 61 HP, and that just proves how strong Ducky is. Boom Burst takes us out, obviously, but Nerf gets some mad chip damage off with the Psychic. Goes down himself, but that's okay. Cinderace will come in for the Revenge Kill, go for the Pyro Ball, and then the Protein Iron Head is enough to deal with the Gardevoir. And in comes his Ace Sceptile now, and this is the main Pokemon we're having issues with at the end of the battle. Focus Blast one-shot Cinderace, but now with the Focus Sash we can live a Giga Drain and Ice Beam takes him out. With Brendan out of the way, it is now time to take on Blaine, and this is the most annoying gym fight in the game. So he starts off with the Torkoal with Drought. So I taught Rain Dance to Blastoise, and fun fact, if you have Rain Dance up, the Venusaur will always go for Sunny Day first turn. It brings us down to our Focus Sash as we get another Rain Dance off, just so Cinderace and other Pokemon can outspeed it later. I switch into Ducky, who obviously gets outsped anyway, but it's such a monster that the Giga Drain doesn't do too much damage, and with 2 Psychics, we easily take it out. He brings in Cinderace, which clearly just absolutely destroys Ducky. He was only on 60 HP, unfortunately. As I decide to switch into Bolton, see if we can get any damage off with a Mach Punch. Does a nice half shot almost, which is pretty impressive. We switch into Grimmstyle now, and we go for the Thunder Wave mainly just to keep the speed down. as we switch into Peanut Butter, who takes a Pyro Ball to the face. Not too well either, unfortunately, as I do go for the Rock Climb, but Sucker Punch goes through and takes us out. I switch into Cinderace and I go for the bounce here, changing ourselves to a fighting type. Oh, sorry, I went for Iron Head. Sorry, I don't know why I would have gone for Iron Head. I try to go for the bounce, but the Blazing Soul Typhlosion takes us out. So in this game, Typhlosion actually has basically Fire Gale Wing. So if it's at full HP, every fire type move has priority. So we basically have the same strategy. I'm feeling alright about how that game went. So I go ahead, start off with the Rain Dance. I know now that he will go for Sunny Day. So I'm going to go ahead and counter that out with my own Rain Dance because I, basically just wasted a turn for him. He goes for one more Sunny Day, so he probably was fine. Brings us down to our Focus Sash again as I get the Rain Dance off. Giga drains us and we get taken out. So playing a lot like the first game here, I go ahead, switch out to Ducky, and I go for Psychic. The main reason I'm not switching out to Cinderace yet is because it also gets affected by the rain, so its Pyro Ball is not going to be doing as much. He changes to a fighting type with the high jump kick, that's fine. This time I actually just switch out to Grimmsnarl straight away, which is probably what I should have done the first time. And I go for the Thunder Wave, and then he just takes out Grimmsnarl with a Pyro Ball, but that's fine. Grimmsnarl has done its job, it doesn't matter too much. I now go for the Plasma Fist now that we outspeed. I go for a Mach Punch, but he switches out knowing that we have it. He goes into Typhlosion, who's lost Burning Soul and the Eruption Power, and 2 Mach Punches take out Cinderace and Typhlosion. Now we've dealt with 2 of his most annoying Pokemon. He brings in Volcarona, but Peanut Butter's got that thing's mark, you know what I'm saying? He hits it with the Stone Edge, takes it out. In comes Charizard, takes out Peanut Butter, but obviously it's on 14 HP. But in comes Cinderace, the ace of our team, goes for the bounce, and misses. Bam. We live on 17 HP, and here we're just hoping the bounce hits, and it does, and that is Blaine taken care of. Now that's the most annoying gym out of the way. I'm feeling pretty good about Gym 8, so I go ahead, try and take it on straight away, but Brendan does stop us and tells us that he needs help in Cerulean Cave, and in comes one of the most annoying sequences in Pokemon that I've ever had to deal with in my life, and it's this battle between Archer and I can't actually remember her name. Ariana? I'm just gonna call her Oriana. That's what we're calling her. But basically this fight is hell. You have to fight both of the admins, but one after each other without any healing at all. So if you have a bad run on the first fight, the second fight's basically doomed. So there's a lot of resetting to even get past that first battle without having too many Pokemon knocked out or in a bad spot. So this is probably the biggest and hardest run that I've seen people complain about. And then we have the last Giovanni battle afterwards, which is almost as bad. But here we just send out Skirt, because I know he starts off with Mamoswine. It stops it from stealth rocking as well, which is huge for us. We do live 2 Earthquakes, which is fantastic. A Shadow Sneak comes out and just finishes off Skirt. We go into Bolton, who, this is never really a good idea, because I keep forgetting that Bolton's part fighting type in this game, so Play Rough is actually super effective. But we do have the Focus Sash, so we can live one, and we unfortunately just missed the KO as it finishes us off with a Play Rough. So now I'm like, crap, I really need this thing dead. We switch into Cinderace and go for the Flame Charge as he switches into Houndoom, and we accidentally boost his fire type moves. He Mega Evolves, but and goes for Nasty Plot. But with this bounce, we actually get the power, which is huge. So now we're faster and we can take it out. So that was very, very good for us. Cinderace coming in clutch, and we just clean up with Cinderace now. Flame Charge, 4 times super effective, gives us the speed boost. It's insanely good for versing Mimikyu. He knows that we're going to outspeed and goes for the Shadow Sneak. So I'm feeling pretty good. I'm feeling pretty healthy after that battle. He starts off with Hatterene, and this Iron Head should just be more than enough to take it out. Unfortunately, we just miss, but it does flinch, which is fantastic. The 2 Iron Heads is enough to take it out. He brings out Hornchurro, who has Super Luck and Scope Lens, so we have to be very, very careful. And I'm like, yeah, I don't know who to switch into here. I don't know who's expendable. She does have her Hyperia, so probably keeping Parzu alive is for our best interest, because the rest of our team can't really hit it. I was thinking maybe Cinderace can deal with it, but if we lose Cinderace, we're also in trouble. So I do switch into Peanut Butter. He gets the critical hit with the Night Slash, which is almost guaranteed. Same with the Drill Peck, and now we can switch into Ducky freely without it taking much damage. And 1 Discharge is enough to take it out, which is fantastic. Ducky the Beast once again. We go for a Discharge here again, just trying to get the power really. It's a 30% chance, so it's not really too scary to go for. We get 2 off before getting taken out. and then we switch into a Cinderace, go for the Pyro Ball. He does switch into Rhyperior, but we have a fine answer to Rhyperior in Shaman. Goes for the Earthquake, it doesn't do too much damage. One Energy Ball takes it out, and then finally, this nightmare is over. An Energy Ball goes off, it doesn't quite kill, but that's fine. We know that Cinderace outspeeds, so we send it out, and we just go for Flame Charge here, because I know it won't miss and takes out Mawile. So thankfully we got past these two. That was a super hard battle, but it's not quite over yet. We still have to take on the final Giovanni battle. The start of this battle is super intimidating. He catches Mewtwo and declares that he can in fact Mega Evolve it, which is terrifying. Mega Mewtwo is one of the hardest hitting Pokemon in the game, but thankfully this actually only took us like 2 attempts or so. I think it was 2, which is pretty huge. His Dragapult goes for Light Screen, which is fantastic for our team. His Lele and Scrafty are looking pretty scary, but I know I can basically just ignore Scrafty. It's not much of an issue to my team. He brings out my Porygon, and I'm not too sure what to do with Porygon since Discharge could potentially paralyze his Dialga. I don't really want to go for that, but I think I end up doing it anyway for the split damage, and I was really hoping that I brought Shadow Ball to this fight. But I do end up just going for the Discharge. We do get Drain Punch, which is a bit unfortunate, and we don't get the Para, which is extra unfortunate. But here I'm kind of scared for Ducky, as Ducky lives on 1 HP and then gets taken out by Scrafty. But they're not touching his Dialga, which is, you know, obviously very good for us. So I send in Parzu, because I know he'll definitely just go for it. He goes for Expanding Force, so it hits both Pokemon anyway. But at this point, all we're doing is keeping Dialga alive and like making sure that it can carry us. Here I go for the Pyro Ball into Mewtwo. Again, Scrafty is not much of an issue, though I kind of wish we did go for it into the Excadrill, because that would have been a cool KO to pick up. He does bring back out Scrafty, and I know for a fact it's probably just going to Fake Out, but it's fine. We die, we die. He doesn't actually go for Fake Out because he must not have it, but yeah, with that, we basically won now, because the rest of his Pokemon aren't too threatening. The Tyranitar is scary, but with double Steel types on the field, it's fine. The Flash Cannon and Iron Head just take it out. Dialga finally goes down after carrying us that whole way, and then he brings out his Salamence with Aerial Light and takes out the Scrafty. He goes for the Mega Evolution, Double Edge, and bam. Now I kind of really think about it, but that is a precursor to what we have to fight in the Elite Four. Very, very terrifying. They all declare that they love Giovanni, and now it's time to take on Claire. So this also took me ages. Basically, her Dracovish is the bane of my existence, and Aerodactyl with Stealth Rocks is also the bane of my existence. We go ahead, start off with Skur. We get the burn on Aerodactyl. I switch into Bolton, who gets the revenge kill. Dies to Negadel, but that's fine. Ducky is more than enough to take it out, and he doesn't even half shot us with a Beast Boost, which is fantastic. I switch into Cinderace, who I then immediately switch back to Ducky because I know she is going to switch because she knows that that Cinderace can take out Meganium. This thing is so obnoxious though. It does mad damage to Ducky. We try to get the Para Hacks to make sure we outspeed. She switches into Dracovish, and I had a plan for this Dracovish. We live two Vicious Rends, but we gave Nerf the Focus Sash, so we can live a Vicious Rend and return KO with a Freeze Dry. Trying to get the freeze on the Meganium, but it doesn't quite happen. I go for a Pyro Ball as she misses the Fluoro Cannon, which is very thankful for that. We bring down Duraludon to half HP. We live on 4 HP, and bam, that is the Claire fight taken care of. That was a very, very lucky fight, but nonetheless, I'm happy we got through it. Oh my, that took me a very long time to get through. Before we can travel through the victory road, we have to take on our rival once again. He leads off with Staraptor, instantly goes for the U-turn, and Freeze Dry just is barely not enough to take out Kartana, unfortunately. But it does do enough damage that Bolton can come out and go for the Muck Punch, finish that thing off, and Kartana was very scary. Unfortunately, his Electivire outspeeds mine and has close combat and takes us out in one shot. I go into Cinderace now and go for the Pyro Ball. That Muck Punch did a mad damage. I know he's going to go for the Aqua Jet here, so I switch straight into Ducky, because Ducky is just tanky enough to take almost any hit from this thing, and we can fire back with a Discharge. Look at how tanky Eviolite Porygon 2 is. This thing's just a menace. 2 Discharges is enough to take it out. And now that he brings in Darmanitan, I bring in Skur, who actually gets half shot by Flare Blitz, which is kind of crazy to think about, as I do go for the Scald here and take it out. But yeah, that thing did mad damage. Hustle Flare Blitz really isn't anything to scoff at. We learn Shell Smash, which will come in handy for the Elite Four. He brings back in Staraptor, Brave Bird takes us out very easily. We go into Peanut Butter now, knowing that it can't really do too much other than close combat, so we just kind of gotta hope, and he does. It seems to be locked into Brave Bird, because normally he would just close combat there. We actually outspeed Venusaur and get a little bit of chunk damage off. I go into Ducky, who can go for the Psychic. We get put to sleep, which is unfortunate, and then we wake up on the second turn, which is fantastic. Again, getting chip damage off for Cinderace, because Venusaur Mega actually has Thick Fat, so these fire type attacks aren't doing as much damage as they should be. So I go for Bounce just in case, which was probably a scary move, because if if we missed, we were in big trouble. And now before we can go into the victory road once again, we have to beat Brendan now. So we yeah, this battle was also very hard. This was a very scary one. But instead of switching when we bring out Cinderace now, he just goes for Explosion. So we get a free kill at the start with Bounce, and we chunk out Crawdaunt for half HP, which is enough to bring it down to a Mach Punch kill. But in case he goes for the Aqua Jet, I actually do switch into Nerf. He brings out the Latios, who just one-shots us with Draco Meteor, but it does lose 2 stages of special attack. So Skur comes in now, and we go for the Ice Beam. It doesn't do too much damage, but these Dracos aren't doing much either, just because of the special attack drops. So now I'm like, crap. X-Power's always a huge problem, because this thing can just sweep under the right conditions, but those right conditions are usually Peanut Butter and Porygon 2 being taken care of. As Peanut Butter can take 2 Boom Bursts, and so can Ducky, but we do have Boltund in the back still with Mach Punch up and ready to go. So Mach Punch takes it out, easily done. Another Mach Punch takes out Crawdaunt. He brings out Salamence, and I'm like, yeah, we don't really want to switch into anything, so I'll try to get a Plasma Fist off, but the Earthquake takes us out. Ducky the Beast once again takes an Outrage, and Ice Beam destroys Salamence. He brings out Sceptile. I try to go for the Ice Beam. His Dragon Claw doesn't take us out, and we beat Brendan, but that did take us a couple of goes. The Metagross was really annoying until we learned the bounce strategy, and he gives us a destiny not to breed good mons, but unfortunately we can't do that. We finally make our way out of Victory Road, which was actually kind of difficult. There are a lot of really hard trainers. Here I save and heal because I just don't trust this game. I've got a feeling that a boss battle is up ahead before we actually get into the league, because it's been kind of just halting our progress this whole time. And we come into Indigo Plateau, and BAM! It's the creator of the game, and I was like, holy crap, that's a level 100 Gigalith. I was sitting here thinking, like, isn't the level cap 85? What am I meant to do? I was like, what am I was freaking out right now. As you can see by me not touching anything, I was like, why is it doing this to me? I thought the level cap was 85. I was freaking out. And yeah, this is just me going through an external crisis. Like, what am I meant to do? It's level 100. Like, I'm pretty sure Skur just dies to an Earthquake, and we switch in and it goes for Explosion. I'm like, it's one of those battles, is it? It's gonna be a meme battle. So this is probably one of the funniest battles I've had in my life. He then only has a level 100 Shedinjas, so I go for Flame Charge. I'm speeding up now because I'm like, wait a minute. I see what's going on here. This cheeky guy freaking me out. We just Flame Charge every single one of them. And yeah, that's the last boss battle before the Elite Four done. But I knew that the Elite Four was going to be difficult without EV training, so I went and reset everyone's EVs before taking on Lauralee again. But now it was very difficult, and basically we had to reset. So a lot of the Elite Four members have 2 teams, and Lauralee has a Rain and Ice team. So here is our attempt on the Rain team, as I go for Trick Room and Bounce. The Trick Room is because with Swift Swim, Ludicolo does outspeed. So this way, we can outspeed with Cinderace under Trick Room. She brings out Dracovish, who normally outspeeds as well, as I go for the Tri-Attack and the Bounce. So this is just the only way I could really think of dealing with things like the Dracovish and the Ludicolo successfully, was with the Porygon Trick Room. She brings out Kyogre now, which is a huge threat. I can't Discharge right now, simply because Cinderace is a flying type, it's just not going to go too well. We actually get the freeze again, so Porygon's going crazy with these Tri-Attacks. It's actually insane. I try to get another Trick Room off because I know it's about to end, and I know a lot of her fast Pokemon are still in the back. So I try to get this Trick Room off, but unfortunately, Porygon 2 is just too low to actually get it off. And it does unthaw in the first turn, which is fair enough. We did get super lucky. We can't complain too much. I come into Nerf thinking like, yeah, maybe I should have gone into Bolton and Mach Punched here. I go for the Freeze Dry onto Politoed, and I try to bounce on Kyogre. The Origin Pulse takes out Nerf easily, and then it finally clicks in that, yeah, maybe switching out to Bolton, except for it doesn't because I'm an idiot. She goes for Origin Pulse, and that bounce wasn't enough to take it out. But finally, I bring in Bolton, and I finally get the Mach Punch off onto Kyogre. Blastoise unfortunately can't do too much here, as we do try to Hydro Pump Swampert, and we do Mach Punch it as well to try and get some mad damage off. We do take it out with that Hydro Pump, but in comes Kingdra, and yeah, this thing's also terrifying. But with the Plasma Fist, we do a bunch of damage. We bring out Peanut Butter once again. We get the Stone Edge and Plasma Fist off, and I kind of play it risky here by going for the Stone Edge, because we could have easily missed. Oh, sorry, I go for Crunch, actually. Well, never mind. I'm a smart guy. I'm a genius. I must have been thinking of another run. But now Bruno, one of the easiest Elite Four members, how does he fare in Radical Red? And in my experience, yeah, no, he's the easiest Radical Red Elite Four member as well. We actually beat him on our first attempt, which is the only Elite Four member we beat on our first attempt. The rest took at the very least, 15 attempts. So, you know, it's safe to say that Bruno is still a bit of a joke. But yeah, there's not much to say about this battle. It's just a lot of us killing him. He brings out the Sizzle. I switch into Lycanroc because I know 2 Bullet Punches will kill us, but I don't want Cinderace taking any unnecessary damage. We go for Flame Charge, so our speed is boosted because I know he has a Zacian, and I go for the Bounce. Brings out the Zacian, doesn't do too much damage, but now we outspeed thanks to the Flame Charge, and now we go for a Bounce onto Haluncha. He switches into Lucario, which is kind of silly because, you know, we just half-shot it with that Bounce. We bounce again, and we unfortunately missed. That probably would have taken it out. But I know for a fact that Porygon 2 can just deal with her launcher. So yeah, that was the easiest Elite Four member. And now it's time for Agatha. And Agatha is also just so annoying. I wouldn't even call it challenging, it was just annoying. So if you start with a Pokemon with that can learn Shell Smash or anything like that, they will go for Taunt almost every time, so we can get free damage onto her Zoroark. We also get the burn on Mimikyu, which comes in clutch because we live on 6 HP. Aegislash comes in and goes for the Shadow Sneak. I switch into Lycanroc. We go for the Cliff Blades, but unfortunately miss. Her Marshadow just absolutely wrecks us as we go into Nerf and we go for the Psychic. So this time I did end up putting the Focus Sash on Mr. Mime, just so we can live a Shadow Sneak and get the revenge kill. She brings in Aegislash again, and with Pyro Ball, we take it out. So this is looking pretty easy, but let me tell you, it was very dependent on that burn. That if we didn't get that burn, we were in a lot of trouble. We go for the Flame Charge so we can actually outspeed, and because Pyro Ball got Curse Bodied, we go for the Psychic, and that is Agatha taken care of. But that was very, very difficult. It really depended on whether she started off with Grimmsnarl or with the Gengar. And now for Lance. So the Lance strategy was we could only beat him if he started with the Garchomp team, and if we got the freeze on this first turn. Yeah, it sounds real scummy, but that was the only way we could beat him. Again, I didn't know you could actually change your IVs, so I would have done that, but yeah, so we actually have a really weak team. So these scumbag tactics are all we can do. So we have to just keep resetting until we get the Garchomp team. And if it's not the Garchomp team, we reset. And then if it is the Garchomp team, we go for Ice Beam straight away and we pray for the freeze. It's it's not a strategy I'm proud of, but it's a strategy that like we kind of needed to beat the game. So I'll tell you why we needed to do this strategy. So we go for the Ice Beam and we get the freeze. Okay, fantastic. And now we go for Shell Smash because Shell Smash actually stacks. So I go for 1, I go for 2, I go for 3. And then I go for another one because I know he's going to switch out. He brings in Melmetal. Now with like a +6, Hydro Pump's enough to take it out. Ice Beam takes out Dragapult. He brings in Dragazult. Ice Beam takes that out. And then he comes into Dialga. And this thing takes 2 Hydro Pumps, but it'll always go for Raw. So I stopped speeding up because I wanted to see how much damage this does. And it does. That's a lot of damage to his Dialga. It goes for Raw, gets rid of our boost. It brings in Lycanroc. He can just try and go for Cliff Blades. Dies to the Flash Cannon, but that's fine. At this point, we've basically won. A lot of his team's whittled down. As soon as we get rid of Dialga, it's over. we bring in Electivire, Muck Punch that, and we Muck Punch Garchomp. So again, not a strategy I'm super proud of admitting, but yeah, it works out well. We still have the Salamence to deal with, but Ducky is a Chad and just takes the shot, goes for Ice Beam and takes it out. So yeah, Lance was just a luck-based strategy, but you know, we can feel good about it nonetheless because we did beat him with his like 0 IV trained Pokemon. And now it's time to take on Blue, who I think took me around 5 attempts, was definitely the easiest of the Elite Four. He starts off with Krookodile, who always starts off with Taunt, simply so he can't get Shell Smash off, which fair enough, because that's how he beat Lance. I go for a Muck Punch, this is a roll. Thankfully, we got the high roll in the first one. He brings out Groudon. I go for an Earthquake as he returns the Earthquake favor and takes us out. I go into Lycanroc and I go for Cliff Blades. Just barely missing the KO, but we did put the Focus Sash on it, and we do take out Groudon. He Mega Evolves his Blastoise, but it really can't do too much to Ducky the Chad. We get the Paras, so we do outspeed with just Discharge. He switches into his Ditto, who copies our Porygon, probably just in case you ever get the sweep. But this is probably one of the better Pokemon for him to copy just because it's pretty slow, so a Pyro Ball will be enough to take it out. And also because it's very low HP. And then he brings out Togekiss, who is a Fairy type in this game, so a Protein Iron Head, a couple of those, and he is done. That was so easy compared to the rest of the Elite Four. Five tries compared to the 15 of the each other one other than Bruno. So I guess he was harder than Bruno, but other than that, we have completed Pokemon Radical Red Randomizer Soft Lock. This is our team: Cinderace, Blastoise, Electivire, Mr. Rime, Porygon 2, and Lycanroc. So yeah, pretty difficult. I know it probably didn't seem very difficult because I didn't show all of my attempts and stuff like that. But as you can see, that in-game time was 60 hours, and it took me, I think, 15 hours of real time to do it. It was 2 days straight of just going off. I do really like this game, and I think I will start my own live Nuzlocke series. But if you did enjoy this video, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe for more, and yeah, make sure to go check out Radical Red. I can't link the actual ROM for legal reasons, but if you look it up, it will be in probably just the first search there. So thank you guys for watching. If you have any comments on how to improve these videos, make sure to tell me because I am more than happy to improve this kind of video. I am enjoying them a lot. But yeah, without that, have a lovely day, Merry Christmas, and I'll see you all next time.